Pat, one of my favorite questions to ask, of course, is about the influence of other artists on your work, but I always want to preface by saying your work is unique. And I'm not implying that you're just channeling other artists, but I know the way the history of art works, all artists see other work and either directly or indirectly might take some inspiration or information from it. So is there an artist that is of particular interest to you as you paint?
Well, I don't mind borrowing from other artists. And there are many. The old school, I mean, Rembrandt, I can go look at Rembrandt all day. One thing about Rembrandt is I feel like you can't gain a real understanding of his work looking at images in a textbook. You need to see it in a gallery. I mean, when you look at a Rembrandt painting up close, there's just so many layers of color and paint that, you know, it gives you a more understanding of how the process of making a painting.
Totally agree.
Right, and then of course the Impressionists took that to a higher level. I obviously enjoy and am influenced by the abstract expressionists, action painting. I mean, that's part of what I do. And for me, the abstract expressionist that influenced me the most, I think, is Joan Mitchell. I mean, 'cause for me, her work is more composed than most of the rest of them. I mean, it's about energy and movement and action, but there's like economical places where your eye can go to rest, you know. And then Jasper Johns is an influence in all my work. I mean, this is a direct quote. I mean, the spacing of the painting as an object against actual objects, the reference to the flag. I made my first flag painting sometime around 2003. At that time, Congress was considering a flag burning amendment.
Oh, right.
And I thought, well, what constitutes a flag? You know, so I started designing my own flags. I looked it up, and there is a formula, a mathematical formula for what a flag's supposed to be like. If I make my own flag, would it be against the law to burn that? So it was kind of a interplay with that. Also, someone once asked Johns, how do you make a good painting? And his response was, you do something, then you do something to that, and then you do something to that. Well, that's what I do, only to the 10th degree. so that's, Johns is a major influence in my painting.
Well, that's really insightful for our viewers as well. And the whole idea about seeing work in person is so important. I tell my students this all the time. So come to the gallery and see Pat's work in person.